Shedeur's accuracy, 74% in college, he's now at 77% in camp. And you could say, well, it's just camp.
The pre-draft process was so unorthodox that he didn't go through it all like everyone else did. And I think there's a lot that we can look back on this thing, especially if he becomes a star in this league.
Can he be the starter day one?
I think Shedeur Sanders' security makes a lot of people insecure.
No question.
Shedeur Sanders just got pushed from the second team, and the haters are raging louder than ever. They swore he was exposed, just Deion's kid riding hype. But what followed? Pure instant karma, and now the entire NFL is paying attention. Shedeur Sanders just got pushed from the second team after fighting tooth and nail to earn that spot. After climbing from fourth string, earning praise from veterans, dominating minicamp stats, he finally grabbed those second-team reps. And now, they moved him again. And people are heated. Critics immediately started piling on. Told you he wasn't ready. Just Deion's son. He had a lucky stretch, that's it. But here's the reality. This isn't the fall people are making it out to be. It could be the Browns' biggest mistake or the turning point where they finally realized what they have.
He looks like the best quarterback here. He's young, you got to learn the experience part. Fifth rounder, so we got to make him earn it. But the truth is, he's the best quarterback.
Let's rewind for a second, because this isn't your average QB story. Shedeur Sanders wasn't supposed to be anywhere near the second team. The Browns never planned it. He was buried, forgotten. Fourth string behind Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, and Dillon Gabriel. Gabriel was the golden pick in the third round. Shedeur, just a late-round flyer. They threw him in with guys who won't even make the roster. And when that Mary Kay Cabot report dropped, confirming Sanders was dead last on the depth chart, the internet exploded. Analysts had their victory lap ready. He's not built for this. Entitled. He's just a name, not a quarterback.
Shedeur, if he is going to separate himself from the pack, it has to be during training camp, more specifically during preseason games.
Then minicamp stats dropped. And this man led the team in touchdowns, highest completion percentage, and he did it with fewer attempts than everyone else. Meanwhile, the guys picked ahead of him were struggling to move the ball. Even Kenny Pickett wasn't lighting things up. So how does a guy dominate like that and still get bumped down? That's the part that's got fans furious. That's the part that's got LaShawn McCoy saying, give him the damn first-team reps. That's the part that's got Stephen A. Smith literally saying his mindset separates him from the pack. Shedeur didn't just prove he could play. He changed the entire vibe of that quarterback room. When 12 stepped under center, you could feel it. Players started paying attention. Coaches started watching closer. And then, boom, he gets demoted?
Went up to Sean Payton, what can I do to make you see what I have?
This isn't just football politics. It's a full-blown test. A test to see how far this kid can push back. And based on everything we've seen, he's not just pushing back. He's breaking doors down.
He just arrived. He's a rookie. And by the way, while you're looking at him, you also want to see what Dillon Gabriel will bring to the table, along with others.
Because when a guy goes from fourth string, literally the bottom of the pile, to second team in a matter of weeks, then gets demoted again, that's not a failure. That's a storm building. And the haters, the ones that were dancing when he was stuck at the bottom, they're already sweating. Because Shedeur's not done. Not even close.
Because what you're trying to do is cement what you believe you already know about his character, not just his play. And I think that it's good for a young person in his position to be put through those tests, because ultimately you're going to be tested.
And Shedeur Sanders didn't lash out. He didn't drop passive-aggressive posts or beg for attention when he got demoted. Instead, he went completely silent and got to work. He showed up early, left late, and buried himself in the playbook. Coaches noticed how he wasn't just going through the motions. He was watching film, lifting before practice, running drills after others hit the showers. There was no ego, no complaining, just focused execution. And he said it best, "I don't prove people wrong, I prove myself right." That's not just a quote. That's the exact mindset he carried every day in camp. Veterans like David Njoku and Denzel Ward took notice, not because of what Sanders said, but because of how he carried himself. No drama, just discipline. That's rare in a rookie, especially one thrown to the bottom of the depth chart. But Shedeur never looked for pity. He turned that fourth string label into fuel, and when the reps finally came, he made them count.
Only thing that I care about is how you play in preseason games, because it's the biggest thing that we take into effect when we are developing and underlying the theme of quarterbacks.
And so, in minicamp, Sanders was the most productive quarterback on the field. He had the highest completion percentage of any quarterback on the Browns roster. He threw the most touchdowns, and he did it all with the fewest opportunities. That's not hype, it's results. When most guys in his spot barely get noticed, Shedeur forced everyone to pay attention. He wasn't just clean, he was surgical. And that performance started turning heads, not just in Cleveland, but across the league.
His skill set is one thing because you want to make sure he can play on this level, but his temperament, his willingness to handle, not ability, because we know he had the ability, but his willingness to handle.
Then came the real shift. In just 2 weeks, Sanders moved from forgotten fourth stringer to second-team quarterback. He passed Joe Flacco, a Super Bowl MVP. He passed Dylan Gabriel, a third-round pick the Browns had prioritized. The coaches didn't just move Sanders up because of media noise, they did it because he was clearly outperforming everyone. His command of the offense, his timing with receivers, his decision-making under pressure, it all forced their hand. One coach reportedly said they hadn't seen that kind of execution from a rookie in 15 years. That's not exaggeration. That's a staff realizing they may have found a steal in the 5th round. James Jones, a former NFL wide receiver, said outright that Sanders is the most talented quarterback in the room. McCoy pushed harder, demanding he get reps with the first-team offense. And one veteran said what a lot of others were thinking. It just feels different when 12 is under center.
First-round quarterback in the 5th round. That's a blessing.
That's what separates Sanders from the pack. Not just the mechanics or the stats, though those are there, but the presence, the calm, the leadership. You can't fake that. You can't coach it either. That's the part that has the entire Browns quarterback room on notice. Because when every practice rep looks like a statement, when the team starts playing sharper with you in charge, that's how depth charts start to crumble. And in Sanders' case, they already have.
His career completion percentage is the best in the FBS, more than 71%.
When you actually watch what Shedeur Sanders is doing on the field, it's not hype, it's surgical. The dude's not just slinging it, he's slicing up defenses like he's been doing this for a decade. One coach reportedly said, he goes where the ball's supposed to go, and it looks right. That's not some fancy phrase. That means Shedeur's ball placement is elite. He's not just throwing to the right guy, he's putting it exactly where it needs to be, in stride, in rhythm, right on time. That's veteran-level control. And let's talk about how he reads defenses. Most rookies come in looking like they're taking a calculus exam every time a safety blinks. But Shedeur, he's out here scanning coverages, diagnosing pre-snap shifts, and adjusting protections like a grown man. He's showing composure under pressure, making split-second reads, and not blinking when the pocket collapses. That kind of poise? You usually don't get it unless you've been humbled in the league for a few seasons. Shedeur's doing it before he's played a real NFL down.
Look like he's the best quarterback. And if he plays well, it should be a no-brainer.
But the best part? It's not just what Shedeur's throwing, it's what he's commanding. He steps into the huddle like he owns it. Players are locked in, the tempo changes, the energy flips. That's the kind of presence you cannot coach into somebody. Either you have that QB1 aura or you don't. And with Sanders, it's already glowing. But let's be clear, this isn't just about proving haters wrong. This is about exposing a bigger truth. The NFL still misjudges talent when it doesn't fit the perfect mold. They passed on Shedeur because of narratives, because of optics, because he didn't do things their way. But now, he's showing that doing things his way might have been the smartest move of all.
The star power will matter. In 90% of markets, it doesn't.
And then it happened. The coronation. After all the chaos, all the climbing, all the whispers, Shedeur Sanders was officially named the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns after minicamp. Not second string, not a maybe, QB1. He beat out Kenny Pickett, outplayed Joe Flacco, outshined Dylan Gabriel, the guy they picked ahead of him. It wasn't close.
Shedeur is the only potential star.
Let's talk numbers. Sanders had the highest completion percentage in minicamp, the most touchdowns, the best efficiency rating, and he did it while getting the fewest reps of anyone in that room. That's not luck, that's command, and the coaches couldn't ignore it. They had no choice but to hand him the keys. People will say, well, he's Deion's son. Sure. But Deion didn't throw those darts in minicamp. Deion didn't read those defenses. This wasn't nepotism. It was nasty quarterback play. This was a fifth-round pick turning a demotion into a declaration. Sanders didn't win the job because of hype. He earned it with grind, IQ, and consistency. Now Shedeur Sanders isn't just in the conversation, he is the conversation. The Browns haven't had a true franchise quarterback in years, and suddenly they've got one. Not because of where he was drafted, not because of his last name, but because when the dust settled, Shedeur was the one still standing, still slinging, and still leading. The NFL just got a reminder: talent doesn't stay buried forever. If you've been sleeping on Shedeur Sanders, it's time to wake up. Because this isn't just about one guy beating the odds. It's a wake-up call for everyone. Like this video and make sure to subscribe so you won't miss a single detail.